Afternoon. Today is the 1st of September and a new season, but yet more slightly shambolic shuffles. Here we are at the Departure Lounge Cafe, which is near Alton in Hampshire. They have an amazing event here every month. I haven't been for a while. I think the last time when I came to was October last year actually here. So I go to so many other events, but it's nice to be here. They've arranged the cars a little bit differently. It's a glorious day today. The emission policy here is interesting. So you'll see anything pre-1995, lots of electric cars, lots of American cars, also high-performance German cars. It just seems to be the way that it is. But we'll start off in the classic section that's filling up nicely. I do apologise in advance if there is wind noise. Actually, there isn't much wind noise today. If I get things wrong, if I fall over, it's a terrible video. I'm afraid just the way that it goes on this channel. So we'll start off with this MGA. This is a 1600, one of the later ones. It looks like it's just been repainted. It's a beautiful shade of metallic red. Be about sort of 60, 61, something like that, I think. Next to it is a Studebaker. Studebaker Commander. I don't know what year this is. This looks early 50s to me. Someone's changed the front headlamps for more powerful units. It's pretty sensible. Studebaker was one of the big losses really to the automotive world when they closed down about 1964. Obviously some production continued in Canada till I think 66, but the Avanti I think and other things killed them. This one's actually for sale, would you believe, this Studebaker Commander. It's 07849267237. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says. This could be yours. And then next we've got, predictably an NA MX-5. Well, this one might be Unos actually. Look at all this wood. Someone's added extra wood to the interior. I do approve, viewers. That's the kind of thing we like. Here's a Unos. Be sort of about 1990, something like that. It's got a personal plate on it, so I don't know exactly, but there we go. Mark 1 Ford Capri, late one facelift, 73, 74, with the 3-litre V6 Essex engine. I wonder what specification this one is. Normally they say on the back. It's a 3000 GT, brilliant. I prefer the 3000E myself, but that's just sort of me. That looks spectacular, as does this 84 Corvette C4, I think this is. I think these came out around 83, 84, didn't they? With these shiny wheels and things. Do we have the Crossfire fuel injection in there? I think we probably do. Life begins at 150 miles an hour. I don't think you can do 150 miles an hour in this this Ford Zodiac, Mark III Zodiac, 1965, which is the one of the later ones. They gave way sort of end of 65, beginning of 66 to the Mark IVs. But top of the range for these, the Zephyr 4s, Zephyr 6 and Zodiac. Looks very good, obviously used extensively in Z cars, but tend to be the Zephyr 6s in those as opposed to the Zodiacs. E36 BMW 3 Series, it wasn't long before we saw one, was it, viewers? I mean, it's the law these days, you have to have an E36 at your show. This one is quite a late one, it's a 98, 99. The coupes I think were made until 99, as were the Tourings and things. By this stage, the 46 was starting to come out with saloons and things, but that looks very nice. And a Corrado G60. Having just driven a Corrado, you would have seen that on the channel, perhaps, on Sensible Second-Hand Reviews. It was a 1994 VR6. This is a G60, it's a bit earlier than that. Someone's raised the spoiler up so you can see that at the back, with the supercharged engine in this one, 91, 92. Do we have a leather interior? Oh, yes we do. Excellent. Very nice cars to drive these. Surprisingly nice for their time, especially considering it's just based on a Mark II Golf. Then we have a very, very nice, I think this is a Cresta. It could be a Velox. I think it's a Cresta. The badges on the side are missing actually on this. That looks in superb order. Really nice. Saw plenty of these back at, I think it would have been Cranley last month. Actually, it's a new month, isn't it? So last month. Beautiful. And then we've got Range Rover Classic, which is probably sort of mid-80s. I don't know what this is really in terms of specification. It's interesting. Maybe that's on an early chassis or something like that, I'm not sure. And an Escort RS Cosworth, because of course. This one is on a personal plate. It's one of the, I don't know if it was one of the earlier or later ones. The later ones have airbags, this one doesn't have one. But they only gave it about 1995, so I'm not really sure. It's been customised a bit. Very nice. Next to it, something that maybe I prefer to the Cosworth. I know that sounds shocking, but this is a very nice Peugeot 309. This is a GLX, so it's quite highly specified. It's much more highly specified than the style model that I drove actually quite recently. This is a pre-facelift one. You can tell by the dash straight away, I think. So, you know, if you look at the back end, it might sort of give more of a clue. Yeah, I think we've still got the sort of high boot lip in this. I think it is a pre-facelift one. The dashes are quite different. The second dash is a bit different from this one, and it's all sort of cracking and things, which is a bit of a shame. We've even got these older indicator wiper stalks on this, but I do like 309s. I prefer 309s to 205s. I think they're great. This one's got GTI wheels on it, so it's not quite standard. I think the facelift was about 89. This is 88, 89, so just before that. And you can see your family resemblance straight away. In fact, the 309 used the doors from a 205. The chassis is very similar, but you were able to get the good old Simca Poissy engine in there, whereas with the 205s, when they were launched in 1983, a lot of the engines were the old suitcase ones, which aren't related to the Poissy ones at all. So you can see the later indicator stalks of the later dash in this example. Later dash came in the 205s in 1988, and this is sort of 88, 89. It should have the indicators are orange on the back. It's had some later ones fitted, but it looks great, doesn't it? RS2000, again, sort of staple of events at the moment. This has a Type 9 5-speed fitted to it. Facelifted one, 78, 79 on a T. Very much like one in the professionals. That was a 77, so it's a little bit earlier than that. But yeah, very nice. Next to a Mark 1 Escort with the Muscle Escort Super. Those wheels, I think, are off. They're very similar to the ones actually on the standard RS2000, so I think they're probably for the Mark II or maybe a Capri, because Capri wheels fit those as well. 72, 73 on an L. Can't remember what is that Daytona Yellow? I don't know. Could be. And then first of these sort of custom cars, someone spent a long time painting it, hasn't they, by hand. And someone's also fitted a very, very nice a beige leather interior as well. Someone's got taste, haven't they? I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers, even though this thing wouldn't come with that originally. And the Triumph TR6 again, a car we've seen an awful lot of recently. It shows. I don't know how many of those we'll see today. I'll have to just see how we go. This is a very early one actually, 6970 on an H. They came out on a G. The Wolseley, let's get this right, 1660 this would be, 1965, with a couple of friends in the back there. I think you've probably seen it before, haven't we? It's been to quite a few events, clearly. You all stickers and stuff. Yeah, it is an August 65, this one. And it's in rather nice condition. As is this other Escort Mark II RS 2000. I wonder if that was originally registered by 4GK themselves. It's got a NESX plate on there. Yeah, brilliant. Sort of seats in there. Fabulous. Again, facelifted one, I think. So 78, 79. Same colour. Another 32 Ford modified into something else. But that's a bit faster than it would have been when it came out of the factory. And then a Willis, I think, Willis Coupe. Again from the 1940s, painted a bit like a Jeep, because of course that's what Willis also made at the time. Then a Series 3 Land Rover 7475. This one's for sale for 8750. 07770331597. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel says, this could be yours. Actually, we've got the heritage certificate here. It's a November 74. This one, registered in Chester originally. I don't know if it's a good price on one of those or not. I mean, who knows? Right, we'll have to have a look at that Wrangler in a bit more detail, but we can go on to this 89 to 90 BMW E30 M3 with Alpine wheels. Part of the BMW M Power Great Britain Club. This is probably increasing in value as I'm walking around it. This particular car's got the dogleg 5-speed in it. Wonderful. Der Nürburgring. Wonderful. Right, viewers, from one very nice BMW to another one. This is the first generation 3 Series, 3230, a top of the range one, back in the early 1980s. They were made from, I think, 76 to about 1983, where some versions of the E30 came out in 1982. 81, 82 on an X. I don't know whether I prefer this one or the M3 there. I don't know, I've never driven an E21. I better rectify that at some point in my life. And then, Sport Quattro. Wow, this is the shortened version of the standard Quattro, sort of in full rally spec. This is quite an expensive car, viewers. Quite expensive. I dread to think, but it's nice it's here. Yeah, it's just like the E30 there for M3. More 1980s fun here, a 1985-86 Sierra XR 4x4. I don't know whether all this blue stuff is standard. My feeling is it might not be. Nevertheless, we like these XR 4x4s views. What you don't want to do with Sierra is crash it. They don't perform very well in a crash, but actually they're quite nice cars to drive. Having driven a second one, which will be up on the channel at some point soon. I drove it, I think, in July. I've got a massive backlog of things, so it'll come at some point. It wasn't as fast as this though. This will have the 2.8 V6 in it, won't it? Then a Ford Econoline van, 1973-74 on an M. This reminds me of a van that's driven by Joseph First as Dr. Metz in Diamonds Off Leather, where Sean Connery hides in the back. It's one of these that's Ford Econoline, a little bit earlier than this one. I think the film was made in 71, but very similar to that anyway. All sorts of American films have these, don't they? Especially from the 70s. And then Pontiac Firebird. Can't remember what generation this is called. I think they stopped making these around 2002. The plate on this is from 89-90, but I don't think it's as early as that at all. I think it's a little bit later than that, but that's nice, isn't it? Then we'll go on to something else from America. 67 Ford Falcon Sports Coupe, is this? Yeah, Falcon Futura Sports Coupe. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. I've seen some Falcons, but not a sport coupe like that. Excellent. And then this thing, which I followed into the event actually. It's got a V8 engine. It was started off a long time ago. I think as an Austin A40, the late 40s or early 50s. But it's well, something else now, isn't it? It's very fast. Oh, viewers. Now this is more like it. A Volvo. I think this is a 360 actually. This. It's a 360 GLT, wonderful, with the red block engine, due to red block in this, and the 5-speed manual. I really want to get my hands on a 360 at some point, viewers. I've been wanting to drive one for something like 5 to 6 years, but I've never managed it so far. This one, late one, 88, 89. I think they discontinued the 360 around 1990. The 340 continued on 91. Porsche 924. This is, I think, the one with the Audi-derived engine. I have driven one of these actually with the Audi engine. Drove one in 2022 up in Scotland in the snow, which was fun. Guards red. This one is an 84 to 85. Correct wheels, I think, as well. And we've got this extraordinary thing. I wonder if this is 32 Ford based as well. So many 32 Ford based things. I don't know. Perhaps. And we've got something that's not as modified as that. This Ford Fairlane. I think this will be from the late 50s. Extraordinary kind of colour scheme. This sort of aqua blue with a white stripe, which continues through to the interior as well. Not the sort of biggest fins in the world, but still quite prominent. Oh, there we go, 56. There's that one. Amazing. And then a 66 Jaguar E-Type 4.2. Not a 2+2 model. The 2+2 models are a bit longer. They've got an extra pair of rear seats, but they're really only suitable for people who don't have any legs. I know I haven't driven one of those. It was also a 66. Drove that in 2020 when the channel had just celebrated 1,000 subscribers, which sounds like a very, very long time ago, doesn't it? Oh, and another Buick Riviera. We like these, viewers. Look at the sort of complication of having to make a front end like that in comparison with what you would just do these days, which of course be highly illegal anyway. Beef at some point in the 60s, this thing. That's great, isn't it? We like that. Be about 65 that one. And of course a Sierra RS 500 Cosworth, which well, it's probably worth about £1 million, isn't it? Thank you very much to the owner for bringing this when they are just ever so valuable. If it were me, I wouldn't want to take it out anywhere. But yeah, that'll be an 86, 87. It would be the RS 500. Beautiful. Then we've got a TVR like the one from the film Swordfish, which I can't decide whether or not is a good film or not. I don't remember it being so. With the TVR Speed 6 engine, this one. There's a QR code for the YouTube channel this car belongs to. A Tuscan, there we go, from the year 2000. Then a 57 Chevy, Oklahoma. Someone's, I think, fitted a different wheel, have they? Is that the original steering wheel? Got different seats in here. Look at these amazing things on the bonnet, the bonnet ornaments. That doesn't say kind of space race or Americana to you, I don't know what does. And then next, something a bit more traditional, this Jensen Interceptor. Interceptor Mark II, 70, 172 on a K. Presumably, this has got quite original paint on it, though. One of the things I would like to do at some point is drive an Interceptor. I've never managed it yet, but I hope to at some point in the future. I only got an Institute of Art Motorist badge on the back. Ooh, a Volvo 940S Turbo. The S was quite a low specification for the 940s. This one's a 93, 94 and an L. It's got the later 5-speed manual in it. Midnight Blue is the name of this colour. My mother's 240 Estate that she had already in the 90s was also this colour. The roof's been painted. The turbo's probably fitted later. I'm not sure you could get an S model with a turbo engine. I could be wrong. Then a very, very nice MGB GT. I also saw this on the way here. This one is before the V8s came out. 71, 72 and a K. And then we've got another one here in a slightly different colour, a little bit later this one. 73, 74 and an M. I think that's Harvest Gold, but I could be wrong. See the slightly different grills from that one to that one. They kept changing the grills all the time at this sort of point in the history of the MGB, which makes it a bit confusing. Then a Z28 Chevy Camaro. 1980 to 81 on a W. Late for this generation. The 82 was the kind of same shape as the Knight Rider Firebird. So this probably an 81, I would imagine, but very, very late production of that shape. It was great. And then a Mark III Escort. Just an L, 81 to 82. Maybe a 1.1 or something, could be a 1.3. I have driven a 1.3, I drove it about 4 years ago actually. This one sounds like it's had some modifications. I thought that this had a 4-speed gearbox in it. I'm just going to lever again. Maybe it's still got the 4-speed lever, but it's actually a 5-speed. Apparently this has got a 2-litre Z-Tech engine, or I didn't mention the Z-Tech R, because the Z-Tech SE later on only was a 1.7 with maximum capacity. Not a CCU, RS turbo brakes, so you can need some better brakes. And some coilovers. No rear wiper though, because I'm not sure if it was even standard on the L. Quite a survivor car, interesting modification. Call 07710 4866176. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, it could be yours. Then a Mark II console. I wonder if you'll see any more of these here today. Certainly saw a lot of these again at Cranley. It's the 375 Deluxe. Then one of these American pickups, a Chevy pickup. Chevy Apache, this one. Nice interior. Look at that sort of cowhide type stuff there. More of sort of a rattler going on there. A 58, there we go, 58 Apache. Lots of sort of modifications on there, which we haven't got time to read. Another MGB, I imagine about 1970, judging by that tax test there. Just before the Fishmouth came out, which I think was 71, was the Fishmouth came out, or late 70. Very late Morris Minor, right at the end. Local plate to the area, that is an old Portsmouth plate, BK. Classic colour form. I think this is smoke grey was the name of this colour. 1970, there we go. Yeah, smoke grey. My gosh, I'm actually right about something for a change. I've registered to the SSB in Portsmouth. Sorry, SEB, the electricity board. Presumably these are really cheap at the end and they just had a batch of them, they wanted to get rid of them, so went to a fleet customer. Another E30 here. It's not an M3, of course, just because first of all it's right-hand drive and the E30s never were.
Hello, Joe, sir.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello, you alright?
Yes, thank you. Just looking at this very nice BMW.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Are you somewhere in here, sir?
I am, I'm just over there.
Right, well, I'm looking at your car in a second then.
Smash it in, have a good day.
Thank you.
Don't forget to get an ice cream.
Will do. Good advice for life. Get an ice cream at a show where the weather's good. Yeah, 1990, 1991, probably a 325i, I imagine, something like that. Is that a 6-speed gearbox in here? It is, so that's pretty from a later car then. And it looks very shiny, doesn't it? I bet that's nice to drive. Because E30 is a very nice car to drive, even the sort of more basic ones. Another Mark II Escort, pre-facelift this one. Extensively modified, 4-door this time rather than 2-door. 5-speed manual. That gear lever is out of a Honda Civic Type R. 76, 77 on an R. Then a very, very nice Daimler. This is a V8 250. It's one of the later ones based on the Jaguar Mark II shape. Made from right way through to 69. It's the last car that built in this shape. Early ones were called V2.5 litre. This was the V8 250. Do we have a manual or automatic gearbox in this? Someone's left a window open for me so I can have a look. It is an automatic with a nice wood dash. I prefer a beta for interior views, but you know, that'll do, won't it? Then one of these Cobra replicas, well, chassis from about 82, but you know, this is clearly a lot newer than that. Wonder when the IVA test was done on that. Very shiny. Much cheaper way into Cobra ownership and still expensive though. Another one of these pickups. This one is a 66. Again, sort of more rat look. And someone's got a motorbike in the back because, of course, why not? That one is a maybe is it an F100 or something? I don't know. F150, not sure. Series 2 E-Type, probably an American one originally. Blitz Factor's left-hand drive. Again, not a 2+2, just a standard one. Got to apply the handbrake in these quite carefully. You can take the skin off your knuckles if you're not careful. So I found that when I drove one many years ago. Yeah, side marker lights and things. So probably sold new in America. 69 to 70 on an H. 64 Triumph TR4. So we haven't got the independent rear suspension yet. Which the TR4A came. How it came in. Like the colour of that. Ooh, a Peugeot 106 Rally. That is in superb condition. These were kind of similar to the GTIs, but sort of stripped out a bit. I think these are worth more than GTIs now, the Rallys. So facelift one, 97, 98 on an R. And another 2-door Escort. This one's a Mark 1. It's a 1300E. I like 1300Es because they are most tasteful. This one, quite a late one. They finished production, I think, about late 1974, the Mark 1s. 73, 74 on an M. And then this little bubble car thing that sometimes comes to the Lockheath Classic Car Club events as well. I think it's like a 56 or something like this, a Zeta. Not even Brighton, I think these little things were. That's probably quite a slow journey up here, so I'm grateful to see that. Gosh, this Mini's local as well, the Mini Sprite. This was this sort of non-Cooper Mini available in the early 90s. This is 93, 94, this one. Yeah, local plate, OT, from Wadham Kenning in Portsmouth. Sometimes used for Southampton area, sometimes used for Salisbury, not too far apart. And here are a couple of Coopers from the time. You see that one's badged as a 1.3 IS. That one's the same, sort of 93, 94. That one's a little bit later. 95, 96. I think it's still one of the Mark 6s though. You can jump over the steering column, yeah, it's still with the older steering column in it. A couple of Imps or Stilettos here. This one is an Imp Californian. We've seen this a lot. Again, OT plate, which was sort of local to this area back in the day. on an H, so 6970. And this is a Sunbeam Stiletto. They're very similar, but the coupe version of the Sunbeam did not use the imp name. It was sort of Stiletto. I'm afraid the only imp I've driven was a very low specification one. It wasn't as nice as either of these. One of these have been modified and got more power, because the basic one's the 875cc engine, not very fast particularly, but yeah, we've got good fun. Then a Beetle here, 7475 on an N. With a lot of friends. My gosh, look at all these friends. Are they all pink flamingos? Has somebody watching that film or something? I mean, perhaps, it might have been. Interesting sticker on there, Volkswagen White House from Bexley. I'm in a Suzuki Samurai, wow. Left-hand drive, this one. Look at that. That's in really, really nice condition. These just rotted for fun. Like, you know, it's amazing to see one, something like this. And as late as like 1994, 1995, wow. Superb. And then this thing which says it's a midget. Now, we've had some modification to the rear of this. I mean, if it's a P, it would have been a rubber bumper car anyway. So this has been extensively modified, this car. And it looks sort of interesting. Let's try and herald sort of little peaks for the headlamps and things. Yeah, that's an interesting little thing, isn't it? Yeah, about a 75, that one. And then an MGC, 6869 on a G. I think this is primrose yellow, this colour. Could be wrong. I can't about so many things in life, views. Excellent. And then another MG. This time it's an MGA. I wonder if it's it's an earlier one from the first one we saw, which was also red but a different shade. And then a late minivan. 82, 83 on a wide, production finished in 82, so one of the very last, this one. Isn't that amazing? You can see this is a very plain steering wheel that the later Minis had at this time. But that's been restored to a very nice standard, hasn't it? Not so keen on the silver and black plate. I mean, that shouldn't be on a car after about 1973, but never mind. This one's actually for sale, this MGA. Call 07833 998 713. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel often says, this could be yours. So, big old Indian motorbike thing. Let's get this right, viewers. But I'm more interested in this Mini 1275 GT from 75-76. This looks a very, very nice example. I wonder if those wheels are in any way standard or if they've just been taken off something else or aftermarket. That looks good. So 75-76 on P. And then we'll finish this part with this rather lovely Porsche 356. It's a piece of replica, but we always see it at the Lost Classic Car events. And the tennis ball. We always look for the tennis ball, and the tennis ball is very much still intact. So all is right with the world. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more incorrect information.